Okay, we'll go. Okay, good evening, friends. I'm Dr. Venkatesh, a urology faculty from Team RRM Next and Top Tutorials. Today, I would like to invite Dr. Aayush Lakkanna. He is a proud student of Doc Tutorials Urology. So, he has secured a very good, excellent rank of 17 AML in this last October session of INISS Urology. So, welcome, Dr. Aayush. First of all, on behalf of Doc Tutorials team and Team RRM Next, we convey our hearty congratulations for your excellent achievement in this INISS.
Thank you.
So,
Thank you, sir.
so yeah. So we are really happy to have you. So just briefly introduce about yourself, Ayush, because this is one interview like where most of your juniors will keep watching time and again. So you can just tell us your journey and whole process of how long you've been preparing for it. So this will be a real stimuli for a lot of juniors and youngsters who are going to watch this video. So first,
Yes,
gently, briefly introduce about yourself, Dr. Ayush.
yes. Sir, I'm Aayush from Bangalore, Karnataka, sir. I did my MBBS in All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi, and then I did my MS General Surgery in PGI Chandigarh, sir. After that, I was working as a senior medical officer there, and during this time, I've been preparing for urology. I passed out in June of 2023.
2023. So you passed out in June, right? Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Yes.
So that's really nice. And I know Ayush is pretty longer than most of you all because he cracked the NESS last time as well, right? If I'm not wrong, he again scored a similar rank, and he was very determined. He was not happy that he could not get into AIMS Delhi. So I really loved his determination because getting through NESS is a dream for many of us, but he was even more specific on that. He sat back and prepared again and gave the exam. And I tell you, friends, it is very, very difficult to get consistent rank in exams like NESS because the paper is pretty much very high standard and the competition is very heavy. And you have to get into a very, very good rank to accuracy. And Ayush has really proved his mental that. He
Thank you,
is
sir.
a worthy candidate to write NESS and crack it at his wish. So even I was little surprised when he said that he's going to give up a seat and going to sit back and prepare. It's a big salute from our team. Ayush. This actually gives us also like how determined students are to take that extra effort and do. It is phenomenal, Ayush. Many congratulations for this extra effort and
Thank you, sir.
the I could not put it in right words, the risk or whatever it's said and done, but you have proved yourself that you can crack it again at any point of time. So, this one point to understand here is if you're really determined and if you're really focused and your preparation and materials are good and strong, getting through INISS is very simple. Here is a living example. Ayush is right in front of us. So tell us your journey, Ayush. You finished in last September. So that means you gave your last September session of INISS, October session of INISS. Were you
Sir,
eligible for that?
I
What
was
happened?
eligible for it, sir. I just wrote it because at that point I was actually writing MRCS Part B, and then I had DNB exams and everything. So I was focusing on those exams, and then I gave the NEET exam and I gave INISS just like that, sir, without much
Oh,
preparation. So with that much limited preparation, I was not able to get anything. But
okay.
then for this April session, which happened this year, I prepared for a period of around 2 to 3 months, sir.
Okay.
And then last time I got a good rank, and
Hmm.
with that motivation, with that flow, I thought I should continue and I should study a little more because I felt I was lacking in my reading of Campbell, sir. So I
Okay.
thought I should read Campbell a little more this time, and
Okay.
that was what I added, sir. I added a reading of Campbell and little more MCQs and little more revision of the same lectures which I watched on tutorials.
Okay.
And yes, sir, I increase the size of my notes this time, sir. I have a better understanding of what I feel, and
Yeah.
it's overall helped me, sir.
That's true. So actually, like that's a whole part. Like this NESS, why does it differ from others? Like even before you enter urology, you are pretty much strong in the theory part of urology. You know what are the subspecialties. You know what you are going to go through in the next 3 years of residency and a subsequent career as well. So unlike this NEET SS where you just generally prepare on general surgery and get to the specialty, I personally feel this way of preparation, this way of exam is good when you choose a
Yes.
super specialty. So that's really good. So now, what were your materials? How do you prepare for it? So how does you just brief on that, Aish, because there are many students who's actually going to focus on that. Like, so many do ask questions, sir. Is it really worth to prepare for INISS because the seats are limited? NEET SS, the seats are more, and the pattern of it is only general surgery, whereas for INISS you have to prepare core, Campbell, or urology on that part. So, what are your initial preparations before you started reading Campbell? What were your initial preparations? And tell us about how did our lectures and MCQs from Dr Tutorials app helped you out? So, just give your chart plan how you prepared yourself from the scratch, Ayush.
Okay, so sir, first and foremost, I think my exposure and PGI has helped me a lot, sir. Actually, my general surgery training was also very good. We used to follow whatever was done in the even in the book, sir. So all the guidelines and everything, we always used to follow that, and it used to be automatic in our memory, sir. And also in urology posting, also we had a lot of exposure to emergency cases and all. So we were inclined to give a good reading for urology, sir, and we also had some limited knowledge about it. And when I started preparation, I started watching doctoral lectures, sir,
Okay, I'll
because
ask. I'll just interrupt. How did you get to know about Dr. Tutorials platform, and what were your reviews on that before you started? Because now there are so many platforms on it, but what made you to rely on our lectures and proceed through that?
yes, specifically, sir, actually I went through all the apps initially. My seniors had all the apps, so I just went through each app, and I found your lectures to be very personal, and you had this chalk and talk method, sir. I wanted to prepare notes myself. I wanted to. This is how I studied for my NEET PG also, sir, earlier. So
True.
this kind of notes, and I wanted this personal type of teaching. So that's why I used to watch your lectures, sir. I've written everything exactly the way you've written it in your iPad, sir. My
Yeah. Oh.
sometimes my seniors see my notes and they're like, "This is exactly what Venki sir has written."
That's nice. No, that is the way I used to prepare. I used not just for
Yes, sir.
teaching, because I always prepare like you should skeletonize and you should simplify your thoughts. You should not go back to different sources every time. You should have one material where you add on points from other resources. That's how I used to prepare. That's why. So to be frank, the way I taught the classes is like actually from my own preparation notes, either be it
Okay.
for my entrance or for my MCH as well. I used to prepare and read. So I thought that's a better way of uh, extrapolating things and adding things. So I just wanted to the students, because Campbell is like it's like a dump yard. Like there are so many
Yes, sir.
contents there, but it was not properly organized. So it will
Mm.
take some time for you to go through it and reread it and again. So that's a difficult I faced when I was preparing. So I thought, why give that difficult to the students? So we will just break down, make it as one single story and flowchart, and we'll add in zigzag jigsaw puzzles, and so that it is easy for, because if you have a flowchart, it is easy for you in the exam to have that pictorial memory that will help you to go back exactly where exactly and you can answer it. So that's the
Yes,
way. But on a personal note, I'll tell you, like taking classes like this is it's very tedious on my part.
yes, sir.
Ayush.
Considering
because
you're working
because
also, it's very difficult, sir.
yeah, that's true.
Mm.
Because with PowerPoints and slides, we can just brush aside everything. Because for
Yes, sir.
these classes, I had to speak out from my own memory, out of my own
Yes, sir.
memory, and it has to go with the flow. That's why, like, if you see, I don't add very minute details. My idea is only to give a conceptual learning, and you always have our notes where all the details have been added upon. So,
Mm. Yes,
so
sir.
that's good. So that means you mimicked everything and you have taken an exact replica of whatever I have
Exact
taught.
replica of the notes, sir. So in the last moment when my seniors had to revise, they took the PDF from me, like what I've
Oh,
written exactly, and they used it during their revision.
oh, that's great.
So basically, I've copied your notes exactly in my iPad,
No, I
and
think
then yes,
I
sir.
have interviewed a couple of more students also. Everybody was telling, say, most of the guys who cracked had the habit of taking notes. I think that
Yes, sir.
makes a lot of sense. So they were also telling the only reason we chose was that that speed of the class is good, so that we can follow it up and we can take a notes. Otherwise, we had to
Yes, sir.
pause every time. We had to watch there. You had to read between the PowerPoints, which was a little difficult
Yes.
on that part. So good. So,
Then after that, a little reading of Campbell also helped, sir. Afterwards, because they are asking exact lines from Campbell, so those bold points which are there, They
Yeah,
have come exactly word to word in the exam.
yeah.
So I think your notes have helped us develop one understanding, sir. And then for those important points and for extra marks in the exam, we will have to read Campbell those whole points and everything, sir.
Okay, that's good. That's good. So, so you are able to get a good conceptual ideas from the
Yes, sir.
lectures, right? So, next question is, how many times have you watched the lectures? How did you solve the MCQs? So, just
Yes, sir.
brief on that part as well.
Sir, lectures completely. I watched once only, and then whenever I had some doubt in certain parts, sir, that time I would just skip to that exact part
Yeah,
and just
because
revise it.
I think the first watch itself you had made a complete notes, and there is no need to
Yes,
go
sir.
back.
Yes, sir. When
Because
I go through the notes, I can remember you saying those specific points and highlighting. Yes, sir.
true, true. Yes, nice. So, however, this grant tests were helpful on your part, Ayush. Grant test
Yes,
and
sir.
the MCQ parts. Just brief on
Yes,
that
sir.
as well.
So the grant tests were helpful because whatever we have learned, we have to know how to solve the MCQs. Sir. That is another art itself because
That's true.
having knowledge and then solving an MCQ will be completely. I mean, it requires knowledge, but then solving the MCQ within that restricted time, that is a challenge in itself, sir. So that we need practice, and the grant has helped us a lot, sir. Most of our ranks are similar to what we used to score in grant test only, sir.
Yeah,
Like we,
I think this point was insisted by everyone whom I had interviewed, Ayush,
yes,
because
sir.
I think this is not just this session, even last session also, all those who've been consistently doing well in grant test, even the ranks mimic the same. So
Yes, sir.
that's really good. And I think we have we have improvised our grant test with every session that it almost mimics that because the distribution of questions are, we'll make sure that we take from general urology, give weightage to uro-oncology. We take very little questions on transplant and pediatric uro, which is mimics that INASS pattern as well. So that's good. So next one important question is how long you've been so in this particular stipulated time, how long you've been revising your general surgery as well, because that is also important because many
Yes,
times
sir.
what students tend to do is they of course 80 70 to 80% of questions are going to come from urology, but still the 30% has to come from general surgery as well. So how long
Yes,
you've
sir.
been revising general surgery and what are your materials on that part as well, Ayush?
Sir, I used to devote at least half my time for general surgery because I felt that the general surgery questions were more varied, sir. Urology, at least there are topics which repeat. Every time you know which topics can repeat. But general surgery, you have the whole of general surgery. So I felt I should give a little more emphasis on general surgery by reading the textbooks also, like Sebastian and Bailey. And then
Yeah.
the classes on Dr. Tutorials taken by Rajamekhan sir and the other faculty, sir. They were also
Okay.
helpful. I had notes from his classes also, sir.
Oh, that's good. So
Yes,
even
sir.
our NEET SS classes is going to be the most detailed class of all the sources available because we
Yes, sir.
made sure that because even in NEET SS urology I'll take care. Rajamendran made sure that all the specialty concerned specialties take specialists
Yes,
take.
sir.
For example, urology is
Yes,
left with urologist, neurosurgery is being taken by a neurosurgeon. So unlike other platforms where a general surgeon takes everything. So if you see the quality of materials, it will be little notch little more than Bailey and Love and Sebastian because
yes, sir.
we want to give a conceptual and complete teaching on that part. So
Yes.
that's really good, Ayush. So
Yes, sir. Specific topics like, sir, in INASS, they are focusing on GI, they are focusing on vascular, they are focusing on CTVS, then trauma, sir. So
yeah,
these things, I specifically watch the NEET SS lectures which are there on the app, and that helped me, sir.
that's true. That's true. So so what's next for Ayush? So what are you planning to join in? So what are the options you have?
Yes, sir. Mostly one of the AIMS colleges, sir.
So
And
good. Your whole career is between AIMS and PJ. Huh? You're one of those very top-notch students. No, it's really happy that that's what persistence and perseverance and what you aspire for is. Unless you dream about it, you're not going to achieve it. So Ayush is a very good example on that part. So many congratulations, Ayush. Thanks for
thank you so
sharing
much.
your thoughts again. I
Yes,
hope
sir.
you will get a lot of queries from students as well.
Yes,
And
sir.
I
I'm
I would
available, sir, on number
yeah,
or I'm
yeah,
as you had earlier told, sir. Last time also you had told me that you should be involved in teaching. So I'm
yeah.
definitely interested in teaching, and Like I thought I could also
I
create some
think
class.
last time you helped in the recalls. I think recall session. If
Yes,
I'm
sir.
not
Me and Manji sir were discussing and making the
Yeah. Just
revising the recalls.
brief on your study partners as well, because that is usually
Okay.
like for these exams people tend to be separate. But I'll tell you here, Ayush, Dr. Vanji, and there is one more guy. All three
Dr.
studied in all
Lovepreet, sir.
three.
Yes, sir.
Rahul, huh?
Lovepreet.
Lovepreet, yeah, the guy
Yes,
who's
sir.
ranked number two.
All of
Yes,
us
tell us.
got.
Yeah, tell us about your study group and how are you helping out each other? Because this is one point again I want to stress. Because don't be alone. You have a like-minded group of aspirants, not many, a couple or two or three friends, so that you can discuss and it will help you all of you to improve yourself. So how does it
Yes,
work?
sir.
I just briefly tell on that, because this was a
Yes, sir.
very interesting part when I was speaking to
Yes.
you. Yeah, tell me.
So, one surprising thing is all three of us are not in the same place, sir. We are in different places. So, I was in PGI Chandigarh, and then Lovepreet, who got rank 2, was in Sangrur, sir, working in PGI Sangrur. And then Dr. Vanjinathan was in near Hosur, sir. He was working
Yeah,
as an assistant professor. So
yeah, I
then,
know.
yes, sir. So during during preparation for the last exam, we just used to ask doubts to each other, and we used to ask our granters ranks, and we used to discuss some topics, sir. And then this time it was a little more. We were under more pressure this time, sir, because this time it was like whatever we get this time we're taking, and this is going to be our last attempt.
Okay.
So yes, sir. So we had a group and we used to attend all the SR urology exams and the whatever exams and grantees that were available to us. And we used to share questions which we couldn't understand or any doubts we had, we used to share. A lot of things Vanji sir would know, a lot of things Lovepreet would know. And so then that knowledge would accumulate and it would help all of us, sir.
Yeah,
Basically,
that's
it would
very
keep
true.
us on track and we would know that we are not missing out on certain topics. And certain mnemonics or something we would share on the group. So
Uh,
even though we are not close together, sir, we would still contact by phone call or by WhatsApp. That's the beauty of technology.
yeah,
And we
that's
could
true.
share the bread, sir. Some special points and everything.
That's really nice, and I'm very happy that all three of you had cracked through. I hope most of you go through, join the same institutes as well. God's grace, if
Yes.
possible. So really nice, Ayush. So it was very happy and pleasing to speak with you. Again, I wish you all the very best for your
Thank you so much.
urology career. It's a very enterprising field. You will never feel bored. And
Yes.
welcome to the urology club. So we will hope to catch you up soon in a lot of workshops and
Yes,
conferences
sir.
as
I hope I also start teaching like you, sir. I
yeah
also
you
feel imparting
yeah
some knowledge with respect to these entrance exams, especially.
yeah true. I
Yes, sir.
think we can start with the recall session as well, because it is pending this
Definitely,
session.
sir.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I already see. I'm always open for all the youngsters, because I need I need youngsters. I'll tell you, the only reason we are upgrading our teaching pattern and especially the mock interviews is because we tend to get repeated reviews from previous batch of students. For example, I think you
Yes, sir.
attended last mock interview. You were telling what questions. I just framed them and discussed that in this mock interview. So some actually
Yes, sir.
tend to have the same question. That's what this whole preparation and material is going to be dynamic, and we are always welcome for young bright minds like Ayush. So you are always welcome. And I think during the recall session, we will. I just request you to help me out in that. So we will do that
Yes,
session
sir.
together in
Yes,
a
sir.
couple of weeks.
Definitely, sir.
Yeah, sure. You're always welcome.
Yes,
The more
sir.
to have.
This year we've been in touch for so long, and
Yeah,
every time I talk to you, I take your advice, sir, and it has been very helpful, sir. Especially towards the end when sometimes the grantors don't go as per our liking. You still
yeah.
told us to keep going, sir.
Yeah, we can see. I've been traveling for with all the students for the last 4 years. I can easily pick up these things. This occasional drop, some it do happen, but that perseverance will not get bothered carried away much by those small setbacks. And if you're really persistent and consistent in your efforts, what I have seen is almost all the students have definitely gone through. So I think that God is not so cruel to us if you put in
Yes,
right efforts and take the right steps forward. So
Yes, sir.
many
My
congratulations.
family also allowed me to take this attempt, so I'm thankful to them for understanding. Also, my friends
Obviously,
are
obviously, that's
very
see.
supportive, sir.
It's a very gusty decision, Ayush. Nobody will leave a rank and sit back and train because it is like sitting on the knife edge. It can go either this way or that way. But
Yes, sir.
what even I have learned from you is that if you are very passionate about it and if you are very consistent, is everything falls in place. So even I have learned from your experience. It was nice. Okay, when subsequently if someone tries who's really determined like you to go, I'll definitely say yes to them. Okay, here is the guy who was like done like this. Similarly, you can do that as well. So it's nice, Ayush.
Yes, sir.
So I hope we'll catch up with that recall session in a couple of
Yes, sir.
weeks.
Definitely, sir.
Thank you,
Yes, sir.
thank you, Ayush.
Okay.
Have a nice
Thank you,
day.
sir. Thank you for having me, sir.